Konnichiwa minasan, Nihongo no gakusei desu. In this lesson, we will learn how to say too much in Japanese or sugiru. Sugiru. For example, hayaku okimashita. I got up early. Now what if I want to say I got up too early? Here we remove mashita. Okay? And then we retain the verb stem and then we add sugimashita. Sugimashita. Too. So here, sugimashita is the past polite form of sugiru. Past polite affirmative. So sugimashita too early. And as you can notice, sugiru is conjugated as a ru-verb. So here we have sugiru, sugimasu, suginai, sugimasen, sugita, sugimashita, suginakatta, sugimasen deshita. Okay? Remember the conjugations. And just like a verb, it can be conjugated into te form or can be transformed into te form. For example, tabe sugete wa ikemasen. Tabe sugete wa ikemasen. You must not eat too much. Tabe sugete nomi sugete wa ikemasen. Tabe sugete nomi sugete wa ikemasen. You must not eat and drink too much. Okay? To review, the verb stem is the verb form that goes before the mas in mass form. Okay? So here we have the mass form of the verbs. Tabemas, nomimas, okimas, hanashimas, etc. In order to get the verb stem, we just remove mas. Right? In others, we remove mashita, as in the previous example. So here we remove mas. And this is the verb stem. Tabe, nomi, oki, hanashi, yomi, kai, mi, etc. And this is the grammar rule. Verb stem or adjective stem plus sugiru. Sugiru can follow both kinds of adjectives, the i and na adjectives. For example, konohon wa takai. Here, when using the i adjective, we remove the i hiragana and then add sugimasu. This book is too expensive. This book is too expensive. So we use the same rule for the other i adjectives. We remove the last i hiragana. Another, kono machi wa shizuka sugimasu. This town is too quiet. Kono machi wa shizuka sugimasu. So here, there's nothing to remove. Shizuka is an adjective and it is followed by sugimasu. Now the su in sugiru has a kanji equivalent and this is it. Here, you can copy this. That is sugiru when written in kanji. Alright, example sentences. Kono shatsu wa oki sugiru. This shirt is too big. So, oki comes from the i adjective oki. Okay? And then sugiru is the present casual affirmative form. Sugiru. Another. Kotoshi no natsu wa atsu sugita. This year's summer was too hot. So, atsu comes from the i adjective atsui. So, we remove the hiragana i and add sugita, which is the past casual affirmative form of sugiru. So, this is the past tense. Kotoshi no natsu wa atsu sugita. Next, kono mondai wa kantan. So, kantan means easy, and because this is an adjective, there is nothing to remove. Sugimasu. Kono mondai wa kantan sugimasu. This problem is too easy. So sugimasu is the present polite affirmative form. Kanji o oboeru no ga watashi ni wa muzukashii sugiru. Memorizing kanji is too difficult for me. So muzukashi comes from muzukashi with i hiragana at the end. And then we use sugiru, which is the present casual affirmative form. Next we have gomenasai, sukoshi sugimashita. Gomenasai, sukoshi sugimashita. Sorry, I said a bit too much. I said more than what I should. So I here, say, comes from iimasu. So I is the verb stem of iimasu, and sugimashita is the past polite affirmative form. So here we use the past tense. I said a bit too much. Now let's try some exercise. For example, we have these pictures. Ryori shimashita. He cooked. I cooked. Ryori shimashita. And the other is semi, not spacious. Our job is to add sugiru in these words or verbs or adjectives. Okay, for example number 1, ryori shimashita. Ryori shi sugimashita. Ryori shi sugimashita. So ryori shi is the verb stem. And then we add sugimashita. Ryori shi sugimashita. I cook too much or he cooked too much. For semi, we drop the hiragana I and then add sugimasu. Kono heya wa sema sugimasu. Okay? We drop the hiragana I and then add sugimasu. Kono heya wa sema sugimasu. This room is not too spacious. Okay? Let's try formulating sentences using sugiru here in these pictures. Okay? For numbers 1 and 2, I ate and then I drank. Tabemashita, nomimashita. Now, how do we say I ate too much and I drank too much? So for the first one, tabe sugimashita. Tabe sugimashita. I ate too much or he ate too much. Okay? So tabe is the verb stem when we remove mashita. It's the same with nomimashita. Osake o nomisugimashita. Osake o nomisugimashita. He drank too much or I drank too much. Here, nomi is the verb stem when we remove mashita. Okay? Next examples. Watch too much TV and bought too much. So, mimashita, kaimashita. How do we convert this into sugiru? So, terebi o misugimashita. Terebi o misugimashita. He watched too much TV or I watched too much TV. Kaimashita, I bought. So how do we say I bought too much? Kai sugimashita. Kai sugimashita. As you can see, we are using the verb stem and then adding sugiru or sugimashita. Okay? Remember. Our next. Oki, too large. It is large. Oki. So we want to say too large, and muzukashi, too difficult. It is difficult. For number 5, kono fuku wa oki sugimasu. Kono fuku wa oki sugimasu. This cloth is too big. Kono shikan wa muzukashi sugimasu. Kono shikan wa muzukashi sugimasu. This exam is too difficult. Okay? Next. Kantan, easy, and then takai, expensive. So we convert this to sugiru. Kono shikan wa kantan sugimasu. This exam is too easy. Now for takai, kono seta wa takasugimasu. This sweater is too expensive. So we remove the hiragana I here. Last two examples we have atsui, hot. So we want to say too hot. Oi, many, there are many. So we want to say there are too many. So the answers are kono ofuro wa atsu sugimasu. Kono ofuro wa atsu sugimasu. So we drop the hiragana I and then add sugimasu. This bath is too hot. Next, oi. Kono shukudai wa osugimasu. Kono shukudai wa osugimasu. So here again we drop the hiragana I in the I adjective.